Hey everyone, this is Fabian from Glif, and today we're soft launching a new version of Glif. It's going to be pretty different from the old one, but I think you will love it. And we're gonna give you a bit of a sneak preview before we flip the toggle later today. Let's go. On the new Glyph, what you will find is one agent that does everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. For example, I'd love some music for this video. So let's generate some lo-fi chill out sounds for the video I am currently making about you. And everything happens inside of chat sessions. And this agent can generate UI for us like this. So it's asking me how long of a track I want. Let's go with 75 seconds, rainy, cozy, and we're going to generate our track. So as you can see, instead of just me chatting with it and it basically asked me to describe everything in detail, which totally works, in this case, it decided to generate essentially something that looks a bit like an old Glyph workflow, where it asked me for some information, collects the data in this neat UI, and now it's going to fire up ElevenLabs music and generate our track for us. Pretty cool. Now, ElevenLabs is one of hundreds of tools that we've put inside of this agent, and it's a growing number. We'll be adding new tools essentially weekly, sometimes daily. So any and all AI tools out there, we're going to put into this agent. We're going to teach it how to use them well. Let's add the music. One thing that was very important for us is that you can still do lots of stuff, maybe all of it, that you were able to do with the old Glyph. For example, create memes. So if I, for example, take this entry point here and ask it to create some memes, it's going to first give me some options. And again, this is a growing number of things that we'll be adding, and you'll be able to add your own skills to the agent. So here it's giving us the option to do the Plato Cave meme, Virgin versus Chat, a Wojak vibe coder meme, or the Galaxy Brain one. Let's do Wojak on doing product demos that hopefully will go well. And what it's doing now is, again, you see it generated some UI for us, which is neat, but you don't have to use it. You can use it, and sometimes it's really neat, especially when you're in mobile. It's really nice to be able to just, click around. But here I just opted to tell it. It's essentially Claude that's running the agent, so it's capable of, really winging it, being very flexible about stuff. And you can see that instead of using the old Glyph workflow, it's using Gemini 3.1 Flash with a very specific prompt that will enable it to do the Wojak meme just as good, but to be honest, quite a bit better than the old Glyph workflow ever did it. So, quick example of how it's essentially on parity with lots of the stuff that we had on the old Glyph, but better. And there we have our demo guy, Wojak. Rehearsed it 47 times, I did not. Loss of the lag is a known issue we're fixing. Yes, we will get into those. The feature is technically in beta. It is in beta. The agent is in beta. Everything's a beta. Great question. Literally everything. It worked fine in staging. Full smile, hiding pure terror. Okay, this is good. So, we can do memes. We can do a lot of the stuff that you were able to do on the old Glyph, but we can do a lot more. Let's do the following. Let's make a little Wojak movie. Let's extract just the character from this meme so we can do a little movie about him. And one of the really neat things of the agentic workflow is you no longer have to jump from tab to tab to tab to tab, So you, instead of having like lots of workflows open, lots of different agents open, and then maybe even, God forbid, you also have Kling open and VO3 and like some other platform or Crea. In this case, you just use one chat window in which you can do anything and more. Because the agent is intelligent, it'll be able to, take a recipe that you've created and just execute it for you while you go and make a coffee. We'll do that in a bit. For now, let's just stay with it and use it as a co-pilot of sorts. And there we go. We have a character that we will be able to use for our movie generation project. So let's do something like use Grok to animate this character. He says in a slightly fearful way, "Time for my demo. I hope it goes well." And then chuckles somewhat insecurely. Ha 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 ha. And we basically have all the video models modulo Seedance 2.0, which I know everyone's waiting for, but we're in touch with the folks. We'll have it as soon as it's available by API. We'll definitely add it. It's a great model. Meanwhile, Grok, Vio, Sora, all the other Seedances, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some, Vidu, all the lip syncs, they're in there. You can use them. You can tell the agent which one to use. You can also just tell it, hey, I have this kind of scenario. Which model do you recommend? You can also ask it, which model do you recommend for my budget? And it'll figure it out. So in this case, I've been a big fan of the new Grok Imagine because it's pretty fast for a video model, quite affordable, and the quality is really neat. So we're gonna do Grok and let's see what it's gonna do. And there we have our video. Let's play it.
Time for my demo. I hope it goes well.
Nice. So we can now do the next scene. Let's do a scene where he is standing in front of an audience and still sweating like crazy, and the Mac pinwheel appears on screen and everyone is looking at him angrily. Same style and vibe and aspect ratio. It should be doing this by itself, retaining the aspect ratios, but we're still ironing out some quirks. So sometimes it helps to be a bit pushy, but by and large it works. So it's now going to generate the next starting frame and then animate it with Grok. So it's going to do all of that at once. If you want a lot of control about how it's doing things, you can click here. And this gives you a way to say, hey, auto run everything, I trust you. You can ask it to always confirm whenever it's running tools, or you can set your own limit. I'm going to leave it on auto run everything for now. All right, we've got our next scene.
So it's just loading. It does this sometimes.
Told you, Grok's pretty good. And now I'm going to tell it stitch those two. So I don't even have to take this into CapCut or anywhere. I can just tell it to stitch them together. And then we have a little micro narrative or micro joke or micro movie. And we could obviously continue. We could do a lot more. And I'm going to show you as a next one after we finish this one. I'm going to show you how to do an automatic movie where it basically just follows a specific recipe that you'll be able to put together, and then it'll just do the whole thing for you just based on your vision. And this is one of the sort of key things that I am interested in with this product, is being able to focus on the creative vision and less on the nitty-gritty prompting, right? So for example, let's check out what it did here, right? So to make this second scene, it generated another still with Gemini Flash, and we can see that it wrote a prompt here that's quite detailed. It used the right reference images, it used the right aspect ratio, it gave it an output name, and once it had that, it basically ran it through Grok Imagine, with another prompt. So I don't have to write those prompts. Just like Steven Spielberg is not like, holding the camera. I can go in and hold the camera and I can tell it exactly what prompt to write. But do I want to be doing that when I'm Steven Spielberg of Wojak movies? No. I want to be able to sort of focus on the ideas. I want to be focusing on the creative vision and then have my assistant here generate the stuff for me. And we can play the full movie now.
Time for my demo. I hope it goes well. So, it's just loading. It does this sometimes.
Too real. And you can see like it's giving us options on how to continue, add music and sound effects, write the full film arc and keep going. This is perfect, we're done. You get the idea, right? So this kind of thing is intelligent, it knows how to use the tools, it knows like how to prompt them, and it has like access to anything you need to really create cool stuff. And let's check out an automated example next. Okay, let's do a full automated pipeline. So we have an example here of this kind of style of video, create engaging short form content. And so just gonna kick this off. And meanwhile, I'm gonna try and find some cool style references of like a style that is interesting on Pinterest. Let's see what do we have here. This is kind of interesting. Let's take this. So I'm gonna copy this image and I'm gonna just tell it I want TikTok Reels. I want 45 seconds, voice over music, and then I'm also going to give it a image. I want a miniature history style Grok video in this exact style about, let's do the life of the Neanderthals and their rise and fall. Do the whole thing, YOLO mode, you decide, let's go. So you can do that. You can tell it to go into essentially YOLO mode. And that particularly works well when there is like a specific recipe that it knows what to do with, right? And so in this case, it's loading the miniature history Grok skill, which is a skill that I made. And it's the only thing where I'm like a little sorry right now because like the ability to create your own skills is still pending. We're going to add that fast because it's very powerful, but we want to get it right. So for now, it's mostly skills that we provide, though you can of course like go in, give it a very detailed prompt, copy paste that, it'll always do it exactly as you want. And now it's just going to go off and generate all the prompts, all the scenes. And as you can see, it's using JSON prompting. And we'll come back in like, 5 minutes. I'll go make a coffee now, have a little espresso. And by the time that we come back, it should be done. And we're back. I've had my coffee and the video is done. This took around 5 minutes. And so we can check out the final results and play it.
400,000 years ago, a new people rose in Europe. Powerful, resilient hunters who conquered the Ice Age itself. For 300,000 years they ruled, skilled hunters, tool makers. They even buried their dead with flowers. Then, 45,000 years ago, strangers arrived from Africa, Homo sapiens. Both species met, traded, and interbred. But by 40,000 years ago, they were gone. Outcompeted, assimilated, extinct. Yet 2% of your DNA is theirs.
Pretty cool. So I think this can go straight to TikTok. And it's also giving us, a gallery of the different assets it created. You'll find there's like So I'm taking an issue with the fact that it included text in here. So I'm going to tell it to do the whole thing again, but do not include the text on the images. There should be no text on the images. And you know what? Use Seedance Lite. So this kind of thing can happen when you let it go into autonomous mode. If we, if we stuck with it in Copilot mode, basically, where it shows us the individual steps, it would have shown us these images, and we could have said, before you generate the videos, actually get rid of the text. It's not terrible, but yeah, for this video, I didn't want to have these images. And I think it's probably because, yes, we had text on our reference. So it's going to take your references quite seriously. So what's really important is that you tell it exactly how you want things to be done. And I should have been clearer to say, when I say this is the reference, I should have said no text on the images. So it's going to do the whole thing again. But you get the idea. This is an extremely powerful new glyph. We've barely covered 2% of what it can do. Again, it has access to hundreds of tools. We're adding new tools weekly or daily, and we're going to add lots and lots and lots more really cool skills like the ones you're seeing here. So these are just like some examples. It can do GIFs, it can create these like viral food explainer videos. I think one of those recently did 5 million TikTok followers in one day or something crazy. It can do memes, it can do infographics, you can restore your old photos, you can create seamless tiles. Shout out to user KKLores who did this as an agent, and I basically just took his agent description or their agent description, put it in here, and it just works. And it can do a little more. You can do influencer marketing videos, anything you can do with generative AI, this agent can do for you in a way and in a package that is just so much more convenient to use than having hundreds of tabs open. This will go live hopefully later today. The old glyph will be gone. Long live the new glyph. Thank you all for glyphing, and I'm really excited to see what you're going to build with this. Peace. Okay, one more thing. I did want to have a cool ending for this video, so I just went to the agent and said, hey, can you do a logo blast with this logo? Generate this exact shape of logo on the same background, but with 5 different textures: banana, splashing water, fire, and wood. Then generate transitions between all these. Super smooth morphs, then stitch together, speed it up by 2x smoothly. And it goes off and gives me this, which I'm now going to add as the end of our video. And I think it looks really cool.